Hello, everyone. My name is Todd Wall, and welcome to Communication Makeover, where we believe that intentional communication will lead to the breakthrough that you're looking for, both in your business and in your life. The problem we have today is, as I say every week, this is an exciting one because you're going to witness the power of coaching live. The problem we have today is one that every single one of us deal with in our business world, and it's the feeling of professional overwhelm. That feeling of you got the pressure coming at you from every circle, and that internal pressure that's driving up within us of wanting to achieve, of wanting to be seen as a certain way. All of these internal and external factors, they feel like this very heavy weight that we're carrying forward professionally. And oftentimes it just makes us, sometimes just makes us want to quit, makes us want to run in the opposite direction so many times. We can't do it though. We can't run. We've got to keep pressing forward. And so I'm excited about this conversation that Deirdre is about to have, and she'll introduce our guest, but I just can't wait to get to this professional overwhelm. We have to find an answer. So let's check it out. Here's Deirdre.
Hello, Abby. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. So, Todd lined up this discussion. It's this feeling of professional overwhelm and that weight that we feel. How are you feeling? Let's talk a little bit about this overwhelm.
So recently, I've been taking on a little bit more responsibility in my current role at my job, and I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of different things I'm trying to juggle on a day-to-day basis. I'm there for 8 hours, and I sometimes feel like I can't catch a break. So feeling like things are a little bit hectic recently, for sure.
Okay. And that feeling of more responsibilities, that is something that is a real weight that you're feeling. Is it certain responsibilities, or could you break that down just a little bit more? Is it more I have a lot of calls, I'm in these meetings, I've got to go out and speak with clients? Let's talk about that and dive in a little bit more into your situation.
Sure. So, taking on more clients in my book of business means more calls, answering more emails, strategizing internally, meeting with other teams cross functionally to figure out some issues we've maybe had in the past with those clients and how we can work to continue to try and resolve them. So, kind of on the line of more meetings, my calendar's a little bit more booked these days.
Yes, it sounds it. But first off, congratulations on getting to a place in your company where you are being given more responsibility. So, on the positive side, that says you are doing something right. Do you see that?
Yes, absolutely. I definitely feel that they trust me and feel like I can do a good job and that I'm the right fit for these particular clients, which does make you feel a little bit better at the end of the day, despite the overwhelming sense of urgency that comes with new clients.
Yes. And now I know you said that it started with the new responsibility and having more clients, which means more calls. But can you ever recall a time in your life that maybe this was happening somewhere else? So for example, when you were a student, and I knew you back when you were a student, did you ever feel a sense of overwhelm then, or is it just now?
Definitely in my student life as well, I felt a little bit overwhelmed at times. It's difficult going from high school to then managing your own schedule in a college or university setting, and then adding other responsibilities into it, like a job or an internship, and trying to balance schoolwork, professional work, and things like that can definitely get a little bit overwhelming. So, not the first time I felt it.
Not your first rodeo, as they say. Okay. Let's look at this sense of overwhelm or hectic. Let's rate it. So you know how when you go to a doctor and a doctor says, Abby, you're feeling some pain. Rate that pain on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, it doesn't really hurt that much, and 10 being, ouch, this really hurts. Where are you on that scale?
I'd put myself at an 8 right now. I find myself at the end of the day still being a little bit stressed about what happened during the workday, or did I get everything done? Do I have things lined up immediately for me when I get back in tomorrow? So I feel like an eight's a good rating right now.
Okay, an 8 is pretty high. It's up there. And where do you want to see yourself when you think about hectic, when you think about overwhelm? Because you know it comes with the territory. It's every business and the resources within the business and the demands of the client. Where do you want to move that needle?
I think I'd be comfortable or more comfortable with the hectic if I was at a 4. Like
Uh-huh.
decreasing by like 50% feels not doable at this moment, but possibly at some point, if we could get there, that would be lovely.
Okay, I'm going to add one word to what you said. Not doable yet. Okay. That yet is a way to change your mindset and to think that you can do this. And answer this question as best you can. What happens when you feel the sense of overwhelm? So, in other words, is it a physical reaction? Is it a mental reaction? Do you decide to procrastinate? Do you turn into perfectionism mode and do more? What happens?
I normally feel a little bit more of the physical reaction to the hectic or chaotic situations, get a little bit more anxious, maybe a little bit of an elevated heart rate, or I find myself moving really fast and maybe not catching some of those things that I would normally be a perfectionist at. So I think it's me moving in this direction where I'm trying to keep going at as fast as I can without slowing down to get everything done at once, which makes it feel a little bit more chaotic than it probably is in the moment.
So it makes it harder. And how is that playing out when you feel this reaction? What's suffering the most? So, in other words, it could be, oh, now I'm feeling really tired. My communication suffers, the way that I'm interpreting the situation. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I definitely resonated when you said my communication is suffering. I feel like when I started this job, I was really quick turnaround, could respond and close the circle really quickly with my clients and say, hey, this update's finished for you. I just wanted to let you know it was done. And now I find myself having an overwhelming amount of emails to deal with and then maybe not closing that circle as soon as I would like to. So I definitely feel like communication wise, we're suffering a little bit compared to when I started.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to hold your thoughts because I want to bring Todd back in at this point, and we'll be back soon and we're going to explore a little bit more.
Deirdre, I am loving this conversation because everyone deals with this. And it's just so it's not common to just it's not just her. And so her y'all the description you've been bringing out so far, just like everybody would like, yes, yes, yes. I remember breaking out in shingles at one point in my
Oh
early
my.
career and hives and just that losing detail. Like she said, I would lose things that I normally catch just because I feel like things are going so fast. That's just such a common description. And yet people think they're isolated. Everyone thinks it's just them. And so, what are you picking up on so far?
So I'm picking up that Abby definitely is feeling this overwhelm, although she appreciates. I believe that she's happy with more clients and
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. but it is a lot to handle.
Yeah,
I did add that word yet because I
that's
know
so
she can
powerful.
handle it. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's just the way that we look at the situation, prioritize our energy. We're going to go a little bit deeper to explore, and then she's going to learn more about herself in terms of reaction, what she can change, and what she kind of has to roll with. And
You
we're
know,
going to get there.
and Deirdre, just for the coaches that are watching the show here, what you did there in creating the marker, 1 to 10, where are you at? That's such a vital step in the coaching process. So you kind of know where things are at, even by the end of the short conversation.
Yes, I like the markers, and I try to do that a lot, and mostly so that person can say to themselves, "Oh gosh, it's a 50%
Hmm.
decrease. I've got to move this way down." And it starts them pointing in a better direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the episode we had with Jason, we were talking about the podcast. At the beginning, he was stressed, and at the end, he's like, "Oh, I haven't been this excited since my young career." And so yeah, as a for those coaches out there, getting that marker at the very beginning is absolutely vital, so that person can see the leverage that's actually being created. So Deirdre, I can't wait to hear more of the conversation because you've done such a great job of just laying out the problem that really every single one of us identify with.
That is true. We're not alone.
We are not alone. All right, everybody, you are not alone. I know you recognize this problem, so stick with us. We're going to be right back and getting into more discovery of how can we possibly take that 8 down to a 4. Stick with us. We'll be right back.